What up, fam?
Let me mute.
Much love. Remember, if you ain't talking, can you please mute your mic? We don't want to hear your cat, your wife, your kids, or your fucking smoke detector blue. One real quick shout out before we get down into the anarchy here. I'd just like to say I'm a little bit overwhelmed by the response we've been getting. I've been getting so many emails and DMs and messages on YouTube, and it's really hard to keep up. And I'm not ignoring you. It's way too much. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a radio DJ. So you're all kind of indulging me just a little bit. And maybe it's for ego or selfish reasons, but I really appreciate all of you. At the same time, we're just having a good time freely talking about our favorite hobby. I'd like to make sure that it's out there on the record that I don't consider myself or our crew or anyone Myco gurus, except Pasty White. The final word or say or any technique or whatever, that's not us, dude. We're just having a conversation, and we all have the same goal here. We're trying to grow mushrooms, we're trying to learn new shit, and we're trying to push the hobby forward. Always pushing the hobby forward. And I've been getting a whole lot of feedback, like, how do we get into the mushroom cult? Can I shout out mushroom cult? Can I represent? Well, the answer really is fucking duh. You want to be in a cult, dude? While I'm hogging the microphone, all right. A couple more minutes. I just want to shout out some homies. We do this thing every Friday and Saturday on the Discord. We shout out like who's doing what. Let's see your work. You know, be proud of yourself. Let's see what you got rocking. And we have some crazy shit pop up. I want to shout out Primordia Echoes, the TTBVI. Holy shit. You gotta be in the Discord to see it. Wizard shit. Dropped the best tub of Toke F8 I've ever seen ever. Lemigatin has that deep end, and I'm pretty sure he sent it out with like half of the swabs he sent out for his grow along. So if you have those deep end swabs, I suggest you look at his grow, and that's where they came from. So you should run those. Gingerbread Man, he dropped that B negative. Not B minus, it's B negative, and it's looking gorgeous as fuck. Like it is B positive, but it's not. Wavy, he dropped 3 fruits in the 100-gram club from the same tub. 3 of them, and one of them was just shy of the 200 club. Channer T got in the 100 club, and Creeper came so close with that blue EV. It was like so close. It was like 95.5, but close enough for a whoop whoop. But, all right, I'm sorry, Cosmo. That was all the shout outs I got. I swear. I'll quit hogging the mic.
Speaking of Wavy, though.
Yeah, Wavy. Where the hell did this dude come from? He's fucking murdering it.
He's murdering it, and the thing is, he hasn't been doing this shit for long at all. Like, he's smashing canopies, and then he's like messaging me, "Hey man, does this look ready to pick?" And he's showing me the most beautiful Louis Vuitton tub I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, yeah, that looks good to pick. By the way, can you send me a swab of that?
Right.
Or his Howley tub. That one was a full, perfect canopy, and I've been wrestling with that culture for the last 6 months, and all I can get it to do is give me little ghost-sized things. They're really pretty, but he showed me his tub, and I'm like, yo, what did you do? What are you doing? Because my grow does not look like that.
Well, he's probably working out of a sab, and you're the noob with a flowy.
You right?
No, I love you, cuz I'm just teasing. No, that Wavy dude, he has been kicking ass, and well, I don't know, 300-gram fruits in a tub. That just sounds bacterial to me. And I ain't talking shit on Wavy, but I didn't see the tub. But if you got 3 fruits in a tub that's that big, I'm guessing it's kind of stanky.
Yeah, but a lot of the coolest shit that we have,
It does come from
they were
stanky
the result from
tubs.
stanky ass tubs. I mean,
It sure
look
does.
at look at 70% of Dave Wombat's menu.
Yeah, they come from stanky tubs. I've been wanting to ask him, like, do you even wear gloves? Like, when you build a tub.
You know, he probably, I know, like he's said before, like when he's swabbing, like if it's for himself, he'll take the swab in the tub. So, I mean, dude's a little dude's a little fast and loose with his procedure, but he gets results. So it's just
That
like
is,
can't knock him.
oh man, that is the fun stuff though. Like taking open
Yeah.
air clones and shit, like on the quick. Like, I don't have time for this. Like, I need to do it right now.
Right.
You ever take an open air clone and then it doesn't contam, and you're like, what? I don't even need a flowy.
Yeah. And then you have someone like Sarek who, just inoculates a fucking cow patty and gets mushrooms somehow.
Dude, goals. I kind of I live in kind of like a horse country. So like there's plenty of horses around here.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of horses near me too.
It'd be dope to get like just the right like geographical, species, fill a super soaker with it and just drive by my neighbor's farmhouse and
Somebody gave me a really good tip because I was complaining that pancyans were too much for me to try to cultivate. I was just like they take too much babying. I don't like. I just want to spawn a fucking tub and forget about it
nah,
until it's
feed
time to
the
harvest.
spores to the horses, bruh.
Yeah, he, my friend, he told me he was just like get a spore print, rub some apple slices on that spore print, and then just feed them to the horses. They'll do the rest.
No
And I was
shit,
just
no
like, you're a
shit.
genius.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're a fucking genius. Holy shit.
Well, that's what
No.
I've been trying to get the guy on here as a guest for a long time. His name's Eric Hensley. And I know I shit on fucking spore swaps just because they let any fucking moron sell shit on spore swaps. But there are a couple of good people on there. And Eric Hensley's one of them. He's a wild forager and he wrote all these books, especially if you live in the Midwest, from like Minnesota all the way down Iowa, Ohio, Indiana, fucking the whole Midwest. He forages wild prints of dope ass actives, whether they're gems or pans or cubes or like he check him out on Spore Swaps. God damn it, I'm plugging somebody, aren't I?
I mean, you are. But
Anyways, he's a really good person, and he's in it for the mush, and he's got like, I don't know, if you want something that grows in your region that you can throw in your backyard and you live in the Midwest, like that's who you should check out. Like if you're really looking to grow a patch in your backyard on accident with a squirt gun, that's probably the guy you should talk to.
yeah. I also like. I know we don't like plugging people, but I also really love Nichy Myco. Um, he's a homie of mine.
That dude's
He
a
has great
dude for
stuff.
sure.
He's definitely mush cold. We love him and great customer service. And that's coming from people here that we're not too hot on vendors, but Nikki, he's good people. I like him.
I've chatted with him a couple times. We need to meet up and smoke a bowl and get on the level. Cause like, I don't know. I hate to endorse vendors, but the conversations I've actually had with him, like on the phone, he seems like a pretty legit human being. And I think he's doing it for the love. But it's hard to tell, man. I've had so many people
I
let me down that like
so
I thought we're
I can
friends. And
vouch for him because there was one time I was on the hunt for Golden Halo, right? This is when I first came to this Discord server because I remember you and I having conversations about Golden Halo. and how a
Fucking
certain other
inoculate the world,
website.
dude.
Yeah, we don't plug them. We don't plug them.
$50 for a golden halo
$50 for a
print.
fucking print. And I was really broke, like broke at the time. And the way Nichy does his sales, he goes through the Cash App and everything. So he has to send you an invoice. And I had ordered a spore print of Golden Halo, and then by the time I got the invoice, I was flat broke. And I messaged the dude, and I was just like, "Hey, man, I'm not trying to scam you or anything. I just don't have money for this any at this moment." And he was just like, "Nah, that's all good." And he sent me the Golden Halo print for free, anyways. And I was just like,
What?
"Okay, yeah, okay, this guy's cool. I fuck with him."
Oh man, we
So
wouldn't be a real radio show, right? If I didn't actually have his phone number and try to call him right now.
I think he
Hold up.
just got back from a camping trip. I don't
I
know if
think
he's
he's
gonna
on one right now. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna try to call him.
No one's safe from the cult.
Oh no, he's gonna be so mad. I'm kind of rolling balls, so I don't care. Oh, well, I asked the Discord earlier. I was like, hey, I was looking for some old prints and I found in a shoebox a point to a Momo. And I was like, should I eat it or should I stay professional? And they were like, well,
What is professional? Because to me,
you should probably eat it.
yeah, exactly. Like, there's some Momo there. I'm gonna eat it, and I'm gonna go do this fucking pirate radio show. Fuck this. That is professional. That's very on brand.
I'm going to be nice and text him first. No, I'm not.
Yeah, let's leave him. He's a family man. Let's let him live.
Fuck that. Shut up. I got Nichy Myco on the phone right now. Come on, give me speaker. Oh shit, can you hear that?
Oh. Oh no.
See?
I apologize, Nichy, if you're
No.
listening to this. I apologize.
It's pirate radio, dude. Howard Stern.
Oh no. Ooh, voicemail.
Oh.
R.I.P. Also, to anyone
Could have
who
been
has their
fun.
mics muted
Could have been fun.
and they don't want to necessarily speak, that's totally cool. We have a chat here. If you have a question or something, feel free to type it in the chat. I'll be looking at it every
Oh
so
no
often,
shit, he's
so
calling me back, homie.
Oh.
No shit. You call me back. Hey, what up, Nichy? Yo, it's Cadaverous, Gene Pool. John Caddy, the Gene Pool.
I'm on like a super long drive today, but tomorrow morning, get at me, bro.
Tomorrow morning, like 4 a.m.?
No, not that. But tomorrow, we just got back from my lady's lady retreat, and I'm going to go pick up one of her kids who's going to stay with us for a week. And I'm going to be driving till like midnight. But tomorrow, like maybe.
Oh, next Monday, dude. Next Monday.
Perfect. Sounds amazing, dude. Perfect. Next Monday, I got you.
Much love.
Oh yeah.
Bro.
Peace, Nichy.
Who else can we fucking prank call?
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, quit playing radio DJ and let's like get back to doing what we were doing before everybody hates me.
Yeah, please. Like all this momentum that we've built, it just goes kaput because then all the other guys are gonna be
Because
like,
I
"Yo,
made
that
fun
guy's
of a
legit."
vendor. Come on. Nichy gets
Yo,
a
that guy's
pass
legit.
because he's the shit.
No, oh god. Anamorphic and this for is saying to call Dave.
Well, I kind of do.
Here's the thing about talking to Wombat. I don't think his friends and family can get a hold of that man.
I'd rather call Jick because like he has a sense of humor and he can take it. Like, he'd tell us to go fuck ourselves and like it'd be fun.
Call fibs. Oh no.
Nah.
Oh
Speaking
no.
of though, I was running that Black Hawk, dude, and I got this crazy freaking. It looked like Shakti, and it was awesome. And I need to take a. I wish I could take a picture of it. Anyways, this albino Black Hawk is freaking awesome, and I think it's awesome that Jick's a douche and he named something Black Hawk. So when my friends like, "What is this?" I was like, "Yo, that's some Black Hawk." Like. That Blackhawk fucked your world up, dude.
Oh no. I think it's so
He did
funny
it on
how-
purpose, man.
Oh, for sure he did. You gotta fucking do something shit like that. But it's like tasteful. It's not like albino chode wave. Hell of a mushroom.
Chode wave
but
is
what
dope,
the
though.
fuck kind of name is chode wave? Fuck.
If I got to name a mushroom, I would name it after a dick too.
No, we gotta get away from this. We have to get away from this. Like, oh, what you munching on, bro?
Monkey
Oh, chode wave, monkey dick. Like, wait, no, I'm tired of this. I'm so tired of this.
I guess that brings like a whole new expression, like eat a dick.
dick.
I had
Literally.
4 grams, right?
But I also think it's so funny how difficult TBC is to work with, but the monocaryon has been crossed with so many goddamn things. There are so many TBC crosses out there, but like the actual culture is such a pain in the ass.
I never ran any of the OG. I got a couple of the weird stuff crossed with TBC, but I don't know. It just seemed too much of a pain in the ass. I'd rather grow the ghost.
I mean, it is a ghost. It's an ISO of ghost, anyways. I think it's just because I got it to fruit. I only got 1 flush out of it, and it gave me an Enigma blob and a bunch of like stuff with just cats, which was interesting, but didn't really get. I was starting to get regular fruits on the second flush, but then the green monster came to visit, and I was very sad. But Creeper Curry was able to get his TBC to do its thing as well.
Seen that, and it was dope.
Yeah, not a lot of gil to work with, but he was telling me he was trying to swab them, so I'm sure at least he got some gil fragments at the very least.
I really
But
liked
you wanted
who ran that fucking it was Lemegaton, read that the B negative.
I'm not
I
sure.
wish it wasn't like a straight radio thing where we should just show some fucking pictures, but like dude's tub was phenomenal. Same with a wizard when he was running that toke, like the toke I ran, it ran like 100% BE. Like I got 1 zip dry out of 1 jar, but it was very few fruits.
Yeah.
And then wizard grew that fucking the best canopy I've seen of toke so far. It was dope. It's in the channel. It was on one of the Fridays when y'all was like, what?
My grove toke was almost a canopy, but it was also just B plus with a party hat, and it spore dumped everywhere. It was a very sad sight to behold.
Fucking noobs with fucking blowhoods.
It's true. It's all because of that. If I had started with Uncle Ben's, I would have been such a better grower.
Dude, speaking of, dude, that was one of the questions. It was on our YouTube, and I was so excited to see it, and I fucking went off. Somebody said on our YouTube,
Let's talk about Uncle Ben.
Well, the dude on YouTube, he was like, Uncle Ben's is awesome and it works. And I don't know why everybody talks so much shit. And like that's a tough one. Like for the most part, when it first started making its rounds on the shroomery, it caused a ton of butt hurt. And I think it was because being able to make your own grains was like the first gate that they kept. And it was like, oh, you can't make oats? Well, you got to do PF Tech. You know, like that was the first gate. And
Yeah.
it sounds corny as hell,
Yeah.
right? But I used to DJ like clubs and warehouse parties back in the day. And when the decks came out that played CDs, all the old schoolers, we like stood back and we were like, oh, you can't play records, you're playing on CDs. And like we had this elitism thing going. And it's human nature. It's like an ego thing.
Very much like a boomer vibe.
Yes, exactly. And I didn't realize it at the time, but that's what it was. Without so much as ever trying to use them, we're talking all this shit on these kids DJing with fucking books of CDs instead of lugging crates and crates of fucking records. You know, we're so busy like putting these kids down who were using a cheap, easy, efficient way to jump into the hobby.
Doing the weird thing again, Kat. I'm sure the recording's gonna be fine, but like, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't hear a word you're saying.
That's because you're fucking deaf. But, I'm rambling, man. But in the end, what happened was like the new technology and the new method. It's much easier for folks to wrap their head around. You know, a bag of rice rather than a fucking pressure cooker and a dozen jars and, you know, this, that, and the other. I think what Uncle Ben's is doing for our hobby, it's bringing in a ton of new people and interest, whether it's like, you know, contam prone or not, you're getting a whole bunch of new people into our hobby. And that's good for us.
Yeah, sometimes they need just one good grow.
Did I break it again?
Sound okay to me.
We had this dude Nexus, and I bet I could look him up, but I don't know where my phone is. But I swear he joined our Discord like last October, November, because we were doing the fall thing. But he came over from the Uncle Ben's server, and all his wins were on Uncle Ben's. And like, if you're not on the Uncle Ben's Discord server, it's a good place to hang out if you're looking to help some kids out with some fucking horrible tragedies. But this dude Nexus, he was murdering it over there, and he was growing wicked shit on Uncle Ben's. And I messaged him. I was like, "Yo, check out our server. Fucking, let's level you up." And like right now, he's fruiting pans. Like I haven't even grown pans yet. Like since the last November, dude just went insane, growing so much shit.
All right, all it takes is switching over.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Because my internet connection was just completely shitting out.
Happens, man.
All right, there we go.
You ever run Uncle Ben's, Cosmo?
So being a noob that started off with the flow hood.
Oh, you bought grains, didn't you?
Well, I did at first before I got a pressure cooker. Yes, I did, and I'm not even gonna plug the motherfuckers that I got the grains from. But I only got out of like 4 bags that I bought. These were 3-pound bags. I only got 1 to fruit, and that was Ghost. But I digress. I was so annoyed, and then I bought a pressure cooker, and I started doing my own grains. And then one day I was just like, I was at the grocery store, and I saw the Uncle Ben's, and I was just like, this should work out perfectly. I have a flow hood, so let me just try it. Fuck it. and I knew I had clean culture. So I knocked up some Enigma and some Ghost, and I was just watching it, and the Enigma was just tearing through the brown rice. I was just like, oh my god, this is great. And like a week later, I'm just like, wow, this is half colonized. Let me like break and shake it. I went to break and shake, and black spores started coming out of the micropore tape, and I was like, oh no,
Gross.
I've made a grave mistake. And I've never tried Uncle Ben's again. Not hating on it, because people fucking kill with Uncle Ben's. I have nothing but respect for the people that can make Uncle Ben's work for them, especially working in a still air box. Like, you got your tech down. Like, I can't hate on that. I can't hate on it at all. I
It,
think most of the people that are hating on it are people that never got it to work for them. So they're just echoing the same bullshit that like the boomers are echoing that. Ah, that Uncle Ben's it's just not a good idea, you know.
it is not a good idea. Because I
That's
swear,
my opinion.
the only time I tried Uncle Ben's, I shot it with a known clean culture. And I don't want to like be that guy that's like full of himself, but I swear to God, like I didn't fuck it up. Like I shot some nutrients in there and fed whatever bacteria was already in the bag that wasn't dead. Like I swear to God, like that bag wasn't sterile when I shot sugar water with mycelium in it.
Yeah. So like, no, I've got nothing but love for the Uncle Ben's tech. I can't get it to work, but that does not mean that you at home listening can't get it to work for
Maybe
you.
we should just do it like this sounds like a fun fucking project. Let's do a Uncle Ben's fuck around. Like instead of a grow along, we do an Uncle Ben's fuck around. Like what does Uncle Ben's cost? It's like $1.50.
Yeah, well, I've been hearing a lot of people have been having a lot more success with like the Dollar Tree brand
Yeah,
knockoff.
even better, dude. Even better. Whoop
Yeah.
whoop
Get
whoop
that
whoop.
Kroger brand, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about those bags, that people are having a lot less Katam issues with those bags, funny enough, and they're cheaper.
All right. So we should do that. Instead of like another grow along, we should just open another channel and just do like straight rice bags. Like murder some
I like
rice
some
bags.
guys
Let's
that
see your
off-brand
fucking
rice
gangsta
bags have
ass
less
rice
moisture.
bags. Hash got this. Where you at?
Just fuck around and find
Can
out.
you guys hear me?
Yeah, dude, what
Yep.
up?
What's up?
We're talking about running fucking Uncle Ben's. You want to do a fun
I'm
game?
down. That sounds like fun.
That does sound like fun, don't it?
Ghostface Killer F4 ran on Uncle Ben.
I'm actually pretty excited to get that out to everybody. I just checked the plate today because I had I made swaps last week, and then I finally put in the grain to a plate, and I can see the plate starting to turn fuzzy. So I'm excited.
I kind of want to play with that F1 spore swab set you sent me, just because like the sky's the limit, right?
I guess so.
I have a bunch
hopefully
of
that
did you see 2 Chains was running that F1? They're super tall, like really bumpy, like Gandalf looking Maquillas.
Oh, that's sick.
2 Chains would hang out with us more often, because that motherfucker, like, everybody sleeps on him, but like whenever he posts his fucking tubs and shit, they're always something dope. He's always got something cool going on.
It's because he's running hashes shit.
I mean, Cad, you and I, well, I know you're running hashes bluey, but I ran hashes bluey for like a good 3 months straight.
I just gave Ghostface Killa, I think it was F2 he sent me. I just gave it its 70% shake today, both jars.
Nice. Are they moving pretty quick?
Yeah, dude. They're moving like way quicker than everything, but the zombie KSSSSSS. That shit is fucking crazy.
And those of
That's
you that
days,
don't
right?
know what Ghostface Killer is, it is a cross of Ghost and Makilla Gorilla done by Hash. He double swabbed it. Is that correct, Hash?
Yeah, that's right.
It's a double swab cross, and he
Double
ended
cross.
up winning first place in the Gene Pool's psilocybin cup.
By like a fucking a long shot even. What was
Yeah.
crazy is I wish I had the numbers on hand. I should. But like the top 4 in our psilocybin cup just kind of, no offense to everybody else, just obliterated everyone else. Cuz it was like Hash and Panda and Dookie and like that and Hesh, right? And then
Yeah. I need to ask Hesh because I know she submitted Hillbilly Pumpkin. I want to know if that's the hillbilly that I sent her or if she got a different culture.
oh,
Because if those are the spores that I sent her, I get to vicariously be like, hell yeah, we got fourth place.
dude, have you seen these snails that fucking Hash has, dude?
Yes, they're gorgeous.
They're crazy. You know what? I've been keeping them around. They actually came out for a fourth flush, and they're still going. I guess they're just slow after a while, but man, they still look good.
So how long have you been running them? Because I feel like I saw your snails like months ago. Like what generation are you at?
So when I got the swap, that was probably the first time around. Was probably about this time last year, and
Mm,
then uh half of the tub, I could probably take a pictures, but half of the tub was like normal fruits, and then the other half was like these kind of blobby looking things that um the gills were like on top. You know, it was kind of growing upside down, like it was just a cap. And I cloned
yeah,
one, and the one that I cloned, like it made a tub that was mostly that kind. Like it was just like a round cap that was growing right on the substrate. Like they were even growing on top of each other, actually. Um, and then I
damn,
swabbed those, and that's the ones that just came out, like that I ran again. That was probably like last fall that I ran the second time. So I can get
damn.
pictures.
Get them pictures. We want
It's
to
been
see.
a journey, though. You know, like they just keep on getting crazier and crazier as it goes on.
There's something about what you do, Hash, that you just get some crazy shit, dude. And like everybody's drooling over your fucking grow pics.
It's fucking it's bacteria, I think. I must be doing something like
He's radioactive like Dave, dude.
Well, it also helps that he wasn't a noob that started with Flowhood.
Oh, so we still have some more questions from the email. Like, who's smart and wants to help answer questions? I got some
Let's
cool
do it.
ones. Um, I got some mean ones too. I won't answer the mean ones. I was trying to, but I'm not gonna answer the mean ones.
Oh man, I kind of want to know what they are.
Um,
I mean, I'm kind of smart. I want to hear the mean ones.
oh, the mean ones.
But then
Well,
again, do
we
we
already
really
did.
want to
We already
entertain
went
that?
over the like the Uncle Ben's, and everybody wants to get really bent out of shape about the fucking Uncle Ben's. But in the end, like if that's what gets somebody into the hobby, and now they're hanging out
Yeah.
with us growing pans, I'm pretty sure it's worthwhile. But
Most
all right.
definitely.
From the email, what's the difference between tomentose and rhizomorphic mycelium?
So, it's basically like the way it's been explained to me is that it's kind of what's available on the agar dish. So, like, if there's a lot of nutrients there, like the mycelium doesn't have to work that hard. It's not stretching out to go get those nutrients.
So it bulks up.
So it bulks up. It gets fuzzy. To me, like in my experience,
Makes sense.
like yeah, rhizo is just the mycelium's like reaction to nutrients. Like, oh, I need to I'm searching for nutrients right now, so I need to spread out as fast as I possibly can. Because if you notice when you throw an agar puck into a jar, a lot of the times the mycelium goes rhizo regardless if it was Tomentos on the plate.
Yep.
And
It's
then
hungry.
a lot of the times when you spawn a tub, for example, the mycelium goes rhizo once again because there's no nutrition in the cocoa coir. Oh God, I'm gonna get crucified on YouTube for saying cocoa coir doesn't have nutrients.
It does not have
so
nutrients.
it was nice knowing you
Worthwhile.
guys. Also, before they hang me out to dry, your gypsum is worthless. Fuck you.
I'm just saying, build a tub of core and verm and see what happens. Put the lid on,
Yeah.
see what happens, dude.
You don't need gypsum.
Nothing
You
will
don't
happen.
need gypsum. Yeah, and like people will argue that till the cows come home. I don't have time for that. But anyways,
Right.
yeah, the rhizomorphic and cementose growth. There's this old adage that you're looking for rhizomorphic. That's the faster stuff because like the idea is you want the fastest culture, so it gets to the food quicker, so that way it beats out any competition, therefore not getting contaminated. That's the whole idea. But you can have really fast Tomentos growth. It doesn't have to be rhizomorphic in order to be a good colony that you're isolating on a plate. So just keep that in mind. Don't get down on yourself
just because
if all of your plates
it's the
Tomentos.
fastest growing doesn't mean it's the best fruiting, or the
too.
biggest yielding. That's the one thing
too.
I like to tell people when they're like, well, what do I do when I make this plate from spore and I got all this mycelium? Well, I mean, of course, take the most healthiest looking growth for your first transfers. But then like after that, it's like, there's no telling. Like, just because it's the fastest doesn't mean it's the best yielding. Just because it's the thickest and the most healthiest looking doesn't mean it's the most potent. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, just send that shit, then make your clones, and then work your culture from there. Like, find what you want to swab and move forward.
It's kind of a moot point when you're like, well, I isolated the best colony and stuff. Well, have you fruited it yet? No. Well, then you don't know what it's going to do.
Right.
If you haven't fruited it yet, you could have done what I did with my Toke F7 and accidentally isolated like a B+ party hat revert. That's what happened with my thing.
That was the thing that like turned me off to selling cultures in the first place was like, I got a dope culture, dude, and I will hella hook you up with it, and fucking it'd be dope to get $30 for it, but that comes with like a guarantee that it's gonna perform as well as mine does, and I don't know, it just feels weird.
Like, if somebody,
I got some dope ass ghosts, dude. And actually, I just resurrected that F3, and I'm dropping some fucking LC on the fam here. I got like 12 syringes. I'm dropping on the fam. Ooh, oops. Here at like 6 a.m.
I'll tell you what. Those, because the first thing you ever sent me were bluey swabs, and you sent me an extra set, and I was just like, "What is this?" Because you just wrote "boo" on it. And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's my ghost." And I was just like, "Oh word, I'm gonna run this." And I must have gotten a gill fragment or something because I got a really good multi-spore plate, and I just sent the multi-spore plate, and it flushed incredibly. And I was just like, "Yo, my ghost culture ain't shit." This is the one that I need to be running.
It's pretty bad. I worked on it for a hot minute. It sucks though. Like, I don't know. I feel the appeal. Like all these guys, they want to be like, oh, this is my cross. This is new. My variety, my fucking isolation. And like, I want to let go of that because I still want it so bad too. Like I want so bad to be like pasty white, you know, forever, or Jick, forever remembered in the annals of mushroom fucking history. But like, whatever. So does everybody else, and that's why every vendor and their fucking mom has some new goddamn mushroom tomorrow. They're gonna sell you, whether it's a F1, or just renamed somebody else's shit, you know. So like, you really at this point have to come up with something so fucking unique, you know, like so unique. Like Hash's fucking snails, dude. Or I'm sorry, I just keep sitting here jerking Hash's dick because he's my favorite. He's my favorite cultivator right now, and he's so like not on any social media at all.
That is not true. He's on Instagram. That's where I first met Hash.
What the fuck? Well, I'm not on Insta. Really? I'm not on Insta. When I want to look at tits, I'm on TikTok, bro.
This is a funny story. So before like I met any of y'all, I was in the trenches of Reddit or I was hanging out on Instagram. And one of the first growers that I ever followed on Insta happened to be Hash. Which is really fucking funny.
You know that?
Yeah, that is really funny. It was like you and Rhizomorph were the two people that I first followed on Instagram.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I started it like maybe a year ago, maybe like spring of last year.
Well, that's funny because I started about a year ago. So,
yeah. So, gentlemen, I just want to say hello.
Oh, bro, what up, dude?
What's going on, my
Welcome back.
What's going on? Yeah, I had to pick up a phone call. I had to have one of my children is giving me a call. Want to say thank you. Got that Phantom, put it to work on some agar. So we're gonna see what's cooking with it, you know. So
hell yeah.
You're just listening to you folks' stories. Not don't mean to be rude. Just wanted to say hello to everybody. Didn't want to be like
nah, man. Jump in. You wanna converse? You come in here and you converse, man. Everybody's heard our dumbass voices all fucking like the last 4 episodes, so it's good to hear new people.
That's what it is, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Just been working, getting some work done, putting some stuff to sub, getting some
running anything new
cleaned up. See, new for me is tooth decay. So I got some tooth decay.
Nice.
And
what's the lineage on tooth decay?
I think it's a tat, but it's not. It's one of those weird ones that never got confirmed.
I'm not quick enough with the Googles.
I've seen it. I've only seen pictures of it. I ran across somebody who actually wanted to do a trade, and that's what they said. I got tooth decay. I said, "Oh wow!" I said, "I've only seen it. You know, let's trade." And I just they sent me a slant, and I just put it to agar. So we'll see what it looks like. You know, again, I'm pretty excited. Just like with the Phantom, I'm pretty excited. I don't know what's gonna grow.
Room chat. And you just on Discord.
If you get
take a shower and listen to it. You're in take a shower? Oh, come on.
Oops.
Sorry there, folks. We had a to take care of that real quick.
If you run in that Phantom Spore, dude, if you get like a real dragon scale texture on the cap of those fucking mushrooms, like, would you please holler at me? Because I want a swab back. Like that's what I'm chasing on those. That's what the grow along's all about. Hey.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. I got these weirdos growing right now. If any of you gentlemen or ladies have ever seen it, let me see if I show you what I got going on here, because I'm growing some weird blob that I have no idea
Hello.
how to identify it. So this is what this thing looks like right now. And
Do you
I'm
know what
growing
it was supposed to
Enigma.
be?
It was supposed to be penis envy.
Huh.
But this thing
Right.
is just freaking blobbed on me where
Corals are kind of corals, man. Like if it's worth it to you to like make a clone and try to like move that coral mutation, I mean, then it's worth it. But I don't know. I think they're kind of a novelty to most people. Everybody wants to grow Enigma one time. You just did, right?
no, well, you know what though? I have Enigma in a separate container. This here is taking on a life of its own. I
Right.
don't know what it is or why it looks like this, because from the other cultures I've had, I was able to successfully grow the penis envy, but this one just turned out like this. My Enigma that I have growing is currently starting to look, I guess how people would say it has flakes.
Right.
Let
Well,
me
like
see. I got that.
the coral type mutation, it's common amongst all the cubes. I mean, well, they're all cubensis anyways. What causes it, I have no idea. It's the same as rose comb or the silly hats or the pointy things. Like they're common mutations amongst everything. There is a coral mutation of every variety everybody's trying to sell you.
Yeah, there's
That
a
one's
rusty
pretty
white.
dope. It looks cool as shit. Like, would I chase it? I don't know. I'm not trying to grow coral. It does look cool as hell though. You know.
And this is
Yeah,
the
if it's worth
Enigma.
it to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what. And if
is it
it's
worth
worth
it
it
to
to
you?
you,
Like,
if you like that kind of stuff, definitely like clone it, keep it going.
You know,
Or like
that
Cad was
was going to
saying,
be my second question. That was going to be my question. How the heck would you clone something like that? Like you got
just
to slice it up and go right to the middle, right?
Yeah, you
the,
want to take a piece of
nah,
the
you
middle
don't want
and
you
then
don't want
grind
to
it flat.
slice. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that fruit and you're gonna pull it apart. You do not want to cut it with a blade, because if there's any type of microbe on your blade, you're gonna drag it through the fruit and then you're not gonna have a sterile piece to work with. If you rip it apart and then take a little piece from the middle and then put it on the agar, you got a way better chance of cloning it out.
Gotcha.
do you really want to grow tubs of that shit?
Not really,
That's
bro.
up to
I
you.
mean,
You're right.
it is
You're right.
fun. It is fun. I'm like, I don't
It
want to
is.
shit on your parade, dude, because I love growing weird shit too. But like, you don't want to like waste your time on that. Like, it's fun,
And again,
and
it was for me. It was
get your
something
pictures in.
unusual. Yeah, that's all it was. Just like you said, it was unusual because I was like, wow, I've never seen nothing like it. I grew it next to another penis MV, which completely grew successfully. But again, you're right. I don't know what the hell I'm dealing with. I'm kind of eyeballing it as to when I should harvest it. I did take out a big section out of it.
Wait till it
But
gets
again, I'm
soft and it like bruises when you touch it.
gotcha. These are
And
just
then
some
that shit'll
little
send you to the moon, bro. And
push
then I want to report. You gotta come back, tell us.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone because it is hard. It looks like a brain, and I heard you gentlemen speaking about corals. I don't know what the hell this is right there. But
Yeah, it
it's
looks
new
like
Yeah,
to
you
me.
got you
it's
got a coral mutation.
it's a common thing. Same with the party hats. If you like look through the shroomery archives, you can just like look up coral or party hat, and it goes back a long ways. It's a common genetic defect in mushrooms, and they can be fun, especially when you combine the two.
Interesting.
So
And when you're saying combine the two, you mean by chowing them down.
Shit like fucking whatever Hash has right now. He has these mushrooms that look like fucking snails, and you have to see them to understand. Like they're outrageous, and I don't.
Yeah, he's
I just
posted a
posted
bunch
some
of
pictures.
pictures in the chat. Yeah, if you want to look at the Hangout One chat, like he takes gorgeous pictures of them.
Yeah, it's
but
unreal, dude.
Hash's snail.
I'm
It's crazy that they
scrolling.
come out like that.
Huh. Interesting.
Right?
Give me a
Yeah.
second. Actually, you know what? I can't see. I'm frozen over here. Let
Dude's
me get out. And come back
definitely
in.
got something there. That's something.
We definitely got.
Cause like when you've seen everything, then you're like, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah, those look so different than like anything else I've seen out there. I mean, they're not like Enigma, and they're not like regular fruit.
No,
They're
they
inside out.
definitely have like a Basidio card. Like they have gifts.
See, for me,
like, they're just doing weird shit.
Yeah, I was
Tell me that
gifted
don't.
Enigma.
Tell me that ain't the patterns though. Like, look at those. Like, tell me that ain't the patterns.
Them shits look nice, man. Fuck. They look like those clams that are in the ocean. Wow, those are
Yeah,
nice,
they look like
man.
sea snails to me. Because you know when like sea snails like swim around, like they have like their edges get all frilly. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, dude.
Those are beautiful. They almost look like I've seen something called Alabamas, I think they're called.
Jesus Christ, Hash, that first one, dude. Cause that's a high def pic. So when I pull it up on my computer, you can see through the fucking.
Looks like a fucking coral.
Look.
It does look like a coral.
Look.
Whoa.
Look at this.
What do you guys think of natalenses?
Love it.
So
Can't grow for shit, but I love it.
I personally have no experience with it, so I have no opinions.
I recently
What's
dipped my toes back
Is it like
into
PS adolescence?
Yeah, like the whole Yumbo, that whole natalensis cross craze going on. I'm just curious to see if anybody does anything different for them, like casing layers or.
I currently do have PS adolescence that I have on agar that I just probably put to grain. That's about it. I haven't seen it. I mean, I've grown something called Heaven's Gate, which I think is almost similar to the Umbo, except a little bit thicker. I mean, I've spoken about it in the past. What I've done differently now is I've taken wood pellets and I've taken my wood pellets and I mix it with my core and vermiculite.
Okay.
And I've been making my tubs that way. What I've realized or what I've noticed from the 5 different fruits that I've put in these particular tubs, the growth is vigorous. I'll say within 2 weeks, I already have fully colonized tubs, and I don't know if the fruit likes the combination of core and wood pellets with the vermiculite. It seems to like it better than when I was using core, gypsum, bone meal, vermiculite, and azomite. With removing the bone meal, the azomite, the gypsum, I'm noticing that my grains are colonizing even faster. And the only other difference is that I was making bags of lion's mane, so I also added wheat bran and combined it and pressure. I PC'd everything prior to putting it together. So that's what I ended up doing. I PC'd everything, and I have everything actually. That's how I'm running my grains right now.
Okay.
So I don't know if any, again, if what I'm talking about is something that you gentlemen have done in the past, because I'm pretty new in doing these things. So I don't know if that's something new or if you guys did some combo like that.
I've
I've
always
ever
just
heard of a
So
combo.
personally, I try to keep things as simple as possible. I just use core and verm because at the end of the day, the substrate is just a water reservoir for our mycelium, right?
Right.
The mycelium's getting its nutrition from the grains. And so, like, my mantra has always been like, if your grain spawn's good and you're at proper field capacity, you're not going to have any problems growing cubes. You're just not going to. When
Right.
I can't really speak for Natalensis, it grows very similar. It in the wild, it's also a dung-loving mushroom. I will tell you that. The thing is with Natalensis, and I think this is why we're seeing such wildly different grows with Natalensis and experiences, is that Natalensis as a species was only discovered, I think, in 1995. So it's not a species that we've really potty trained for indoor cultivation. So
Right.
my theory on this, and this is just speculation because I myself have not grown Natalensis. I just don't have a print. My speculation on that is that it's not fully potty trained and it's still got a lot of its wild characteristics from when it was still, from the wild. And plus, we don't even know how many cultures are really floating out there of Natalensis because, like, you have natal super strain that's supposed to be Natalensis, but then people, like to argue, no, that's a cubensis.
It's a
I believe Alan
cubensis.
Rockefeller did DNA. Yeah. So there's
I
that.
ran
And
Nats
then
once.
Natalensis itself, like, go ahead.
I was gonna say I ran Nats once, and all I used was core. I didn't use anything else to
Yeah.
for the substrate, and they grew out great.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
I've got 3 different quote unquote Natalensis types going on, uh, you know, in fruiting. I was just curious to see what other people are doing because it seems like it's kind of vague what people are doing. Some people maybe, suggest like a actual casing layer. Some people say just keep the grains exposed. I'm just going for a ride and see what happens.
The reason why I
Yeah,
did the
right up.
wood pellets was because I had lion's mane, and I took some I had turkey bags left over and crock pot liners. So I was trying to figure out what to do with them because I just had them sitting there. I had this lion mane that I had put into oats, and I said, "Hey, let me not grow it like a cube. Let me grow it, in a bag." And I had additional wood pellets left over, so that's the reason why I added it to the core. And I said, "Let me just try this out and see what happens." I remember, I think I was listening to your podcast, Cadaverous, and I believe you were talking about someone who grabbed a tip of a Q-tip and they put it into fucking I think just sub, and it grew from there. So me listening to that conversation and that idea, I was like, how the fuck can I do something like that? And I don't know, I just listening to your podcast had me just thinking outside the fucking box, and that's why I did what I did. And what I've been doing differently also is like those little agar, how you guys got little agar cookies that you may throw into your grains. I normally don't keep that little agar piece when I mix it into my sub. So I've been collecting them into a jar, and they all seem to be fusing together. So right now the motivation is I'm making some grains right now, and with all those little agar pucks or pieces that I've collected, I'm just gonna dump it in some grain and just see what the fuck happens with that. I
There
don't know
can
if
be
you guys
only
tried
one.
that, but just there you go. And I've just been dumping them in. Again, just to test out to see what's going to happen with it. But it came from listening to podcasts like that of people who are trying some shit that they've never done. And again, that's motivation for me because
That's the funniest part of this whole hobby, dude, is we all try so hard and you dial it in so close and you get your fucking failure margins so slim and you dial it in and then these dudes hop in and they're like, bro, I'm growing fucking this much in a garbage bag because I dumped all my shitty jars in a garbage bag and poured dirt in it. Like, it's crazy because we try so hard and you dial it in to get everything perfect, and then at the same time you can just throw the shit into the wind, and
well, you know what it is for me is that you folks have been doing it for some time, I believe. For me, I'm now coming into the summer. I've never grown in the summer.
summer sucks, bro.
Oh my god, bro! I
The
know
heat,
it all so
man,
well.
the flies, the fucking, it's almost not worth it. And well, I mean, I'm speaking for myself. Somebody yelled at me one time for saying this, but during the summer, dude, if you got gnat problems, because like I live in a house full of house plants, and speaking of, who the fuck else has gnat problems? Because this was something somebody emailed us on was gnat problems. And it's a thing, especially if you have house plants, if you have children with fucking food, and like, gnats
I know.
suck.
Dude,
No,
I'm all about the
don't have
BTI.
that problem.
That
But what
Bacillus thuringiensis subspecies israelensis, whatever it is. That
Absolutely.
shit is fucking magical.
Yes, the BTI. Absolutely.
That stuff makes my summer times bearable.
Do you only use it in your house plants, or do you put it in your substrate?
I put it on standing water, and then I mix up a little a squirt bottle of it when I spawn the tub, and I just go squirt, squirt, squirt on the top.
I've never added it to my sub or missed it on my sub.
I'm a
I've
little
always
scared to
wanted to. I've always
Dude, I'm a
wanted
little
to.
scared to like hydrate my sub with it. I feel like if I were to hydrate it with like maybe I would jinx something, but I feel confident spraying it on top.
The best pro tip I ever got, like I was fighting and I was adding all that BTI to all my house plants, and then Jick actually told me, he said put a 1/2 inch of sand on the top of all your house plants, and then fungus gnats, they can't lay eggs in them. And I was like, fucking duh, dude, fucking duh.
No, I was thinking about an experimental tub with some sand on top.
Oh,
that's smart. That's smart. Because I recently found out
No,
that
I can't remember if I did I do this jar or not. I'm working while I'm talking to you guys, and now I can't remember what I was doing. Oh, fuck.
I did my plants in fucking palm olive. I put palm olive all on top of the plants, bro. That's what I did. I fucking put palm olive. I said, man, I soaked those motherfuckers is what I did, man.
See, here's the one great thing about having to wrap up my whole cultivation during the summer is that I ain't dealing with fucking fungus gnats.
or bleaching your
I'm not dealing
drains,
with all that bullshit.
or taking all your house plants outside and making your cat move outside.
Like our friend Hobbs, who's over in the UK, me and her talk a lot, and she's been dealing with fungus gnats, and like she's been texting me about it every day, and I'm like, I'm gonna be real with you, homie.
Just pack it up, dude.
Yeah, just pack it up for a month.
Pack it up for a minute.
Yeah, those things are terrible.
And she was just like, no, they're not gonna fucking win. And to her credit,
they will.
She won the fucking battle. She won the battle. So I will give her that.
No, what I ended up
Hobbs.
doing was I went on Amazon and I had moth problem. And I ended up buying these indoor electrical like zappers. That way they're in the room and shit. And at first I thought it was a gimmick. You know, I was like, oh, they sold me this bullshit. You know, I didn't think it worked. But the kid in me put my finger in that shit and I got zapped the fuck up. So they, so I got that and I ended up getting like those shits that you put that stick. It's like a long tape. And I've been catching them, but knock on wood, the plants which I had to bring outside, they got the fungus gnats, and I ended up like I said, I put palm olive and all sorts of shit. But currently, my fruit, I don't see anything. Knock on wood, going. But what I did learn was that if I shaked my fucking grains, they wouldn't come back. I was like, what the fuck? I had tubs that weren't going.
Oh
I
shit.
don't know, like things just got stalled.
Oh, the
And I
recording
guess
still
because
hears
of
me.
the heat, I don't know,
Oh,
like
no.
so I'm learning how to work the temperature.
That's
Like you said, I
awful.
thought I had it dialed in. I don't got it dialed in.
Oh
And now
no.
my fruit is growing
Oh
fucking
no.
weird, stringy. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
Oh
You know?
no.
My agar plates, I don't want to put them in the fridge, but all of a sudden I started getting pins on all my plates, like they were pinning. I'm growing mushrooms on my fucking plates. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know I could do that.
Sign of good genetics.
Peace of
So,
mind.
I like when I have a dish or something, especially if it's coming from like multi-spore and I'm getting pins on the plates, I will take a pin off the plate and throw it on agar to clone it.
Fuck
Because
yes.
if it's
Yeah,
pinning off
see,
the
what
plate
I
multi-spore, that's
I
a good
yeah.
genetic,
I
and I want to
threw
run it.
I threw a plate
No, but
pin. I threw a plate pin into a bottle of LC, dude, and it's fucking. Actually, I already sent it out. Like it's all gone.
I,
Like whoever got
I
that fucking angel, like, it tested clean. It's dope. It's from a plate pin. I want to see it smash.
so
Mm.
Cadaverous, you grab the pin and you put it to grain, or you grab the pin and put it to another agar plate. Like,
No,
how do you
I
guys
took
do
it.
it?
I took it from Agar, and it was sterile because I'm a gangster, and I threw it straight into liquid culture, and
Oh shit! Oh, you
it
went
was
different.
actually it was a plate cluster. I got some cool pictures of it. It was a tiny little baby plate cluster, and I threw it to liquid culture, and I made a bunch of syringes, sent them out to the fam, and hopefully some cool shit come from it.
Oh, that's dope, man. See, I threw it to grain, and I'm just hoping that my grain produces something. The exact fruit that I got pins from was from my F7 plate, and I swapped my fruit that I grew and I put it onto agar. So technically, it would fall, say, to a F8. Then it started pinning on the fucking plate, and I took those pins and I put it into grains, and hopefully, hoping that now I took those grains and I just put it into substrate. So I'm wondering what's going to come out from there. And again, my challenge being dealing with this temperature, because the room went from 75 to I think 70 degrees, the lowest 65 when I didn't have the heat, and now it's like 81 to 85, and I'm like battling to keep it down, with cool air.
Right. Well, the real challenge there, like, I mean, the temperature sucks, but like the real challenge was how clean's your grain and how good's your culture. Because, I mean, a lot of them already live at 85 degrees, but so does a lot of our
Yeah,
bacteria.
What do you guys do for?
interesting.
Philosophy cubensis is a tropical species. So, like, it's growing out in Florida, it's growing out in Africa, it's growing out in Asia, it's growing out in South America and Central America.
Hey, like,
So
So
I
it
heard
tell
doesn't
me
it.
if I'm
Growing
tolerate
next to
high
contamination
so let
too.
temperature.
me so let
Uh,
me
Like
tell you what I do, and
hold up. I heard a new voice. Where's that?
might be me.
Yeah, what up?
I was gonna say, even when they're growing out there in the wild, there's always contamination that they're going next to, so they're always battling contamination out there. Always.
Do you think the domesticated, like as we run them generation by generation, like in tubs, do you think they get weaker than the like a spore print you'd catch from the wild?
Think so.
Maybe in some ways, yeah. Yeah.
You guys
Because
do
like,
You know what?
let-
I
let-
just had some pins pop out of my one of my pepper pots that I made last year. So those whatever mycelium went into that pot has been alive for a year. They came out like a week or two ago, and I think they're ghosts.
That
Because
is
they're
dope.
small and they're white.
Right,
Hold
and
on,
that's
let me. I
like
think
90.
they're authentic.
Oh,
Sorry, I
I
got
don't
hella
know.
stoned and I was just asking weird questions.
Well,
Because I just resurrected some shit, dude. I moved like 2 years ago and I lost this plate and it was like sitting in a box, whatever. And I found that it was almost 2 years old. And I took a fucking little cutting from it and put it to new agar. And then sure as fuck, it boom. And then I took a few transfers and then boom. And I got them in grain right now. And I'm like at 50%. But I'm about to grow some like 2-year-old necromancy. Like they really sat. They were dried out like fruit roll up fucking agar gross shit. And damn excited. I documented it though, so I'm not talking shit. I swear to God, I grew this shit from fruit roll up agar. Everybody's wasting.
How do you do
Yo,
that, bro?
Kat, I got a question
That
for
sounds
you.
cool.
Shoot.
Kat, are we on Twitch right now?
No, I didn't hit the button. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
We have some people out here that are having a hard time getting or finding the VC, and I'm like,
Oh, well, I mean,
don't know
I
how to
can
explain that.
I can. Well, we're on Twitch now. That's all I had to do, I guess.
What do you guys do for temp control?
What's up?
What do you guys do for temp control? Like, speaking of just high and low temps, being in the summer,
Dude,
it's so hot. What do you guys do to try to manage, like, keeping the air, cool inside of whatever room it may be that you're, you got live stuff in?
if you're comfy, they're comfy, man.
Personally,
Like,
I mean,
there's that, and there's also I am constantly stressing the fuck out of my cultures, because if it can't deal with temperature changes, humidity changes, I don't want to deal with the culture. That's honestly my way about
that's a
going
thing
about
too,
things,
man. Choke them
is
hoes.
that
Choke them
I
hoes, and
stress
clone's
the
the
fuck
one
out of
that
my
like being
culture.
choked.
What do you mean by choke?
I personally, so
That's it.
like for some, like all of my cubes get the same exact treatment. Nothing, I do not do anything different between strains or anything like that, because I personally believe that if you're sitting here and you're trying to baby your culture to get it to do what you want it to do, then you're already working with subpar genetics. That's just my personal opinion. So I'm already like, I put my one layer of micropore tape on each hole, and it gets spawned, and whatever happens, happens. You want to grow? Cool. If you don't grow, you contaminate. Well, you're out of the rotation. I'm going to go find another batch of genetics, or at least or at least find another cut of whatever culture I was trying to work with. Because honestly, the more that you try to like baby something, the more that you're kind of also encouraging this behavior from what you're trying to grow.
I
That's just
am
my personal belief.
absolutely of this exact mind, and at the same time casting a very large net. So like when you run a swab from spore, And you're like, where do I make transfers? Where do I make transfers? You fucking don't, dude. You take a couple, a few tiny cuts, send them to other dishes, but you send those. Send those. Like, that's your best genetic fucking dice roll right there, was your fucking T0. And then you get some weird shit, you don't, and you're like, man, and you do it again. You know?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, I send every T0 plate that's clean to grain.
Oh, I love sending
You
big
never know what you're
ones
gonna
too.
get.
Like Tiger drop that motherfucker.
Yup.
Those when Hash he first did that fucking Ghostface Killer, he sent me the T1. He sent me one of his T1 plates. I cut it into 12, made 12 different jars, and then made 12 different fucking shoe boxes with it. Just trying to help him chase fucking phenos. And then he was like, nope, I got this one.
A lot of your like pheno hunting comes out of like what, T0s, just the larger randomized genetic chance.
Yeah, that's where you're going to get your most genetic variation, is from that T0, because it's just a whole bunch of dicaryons pairing with each other. Because in reality, we only need 2 spores to meet each other and be sexually compatible,
right,
for us to get a fruiting culture, right? So when you're taking something like a swab plate that has multiple spores mating with each other, you have like Cad was saying, the highest genetic dice roll right there. As long as that T0 plate is nice and clean, take a couple of transfers so that way you have the culture and you can keep working with it, but throw that bitch to grain afterwards, because that's where you're going to get the most variation.
Or learn how to make your own spore syringe that you could say this bitch is clean, and then send it to a bunch of jars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's casting the net. That was the shit Wombat was doing, and Jick and the fucking Tat Syndicate was doing. If you're trying to find something new, if you're trying to find something fun, run that streak plate and then cut it into a bunch of different pieces, send it to a bunch of different plates, and send it to a bunch of different jars, and send those jars to a bunch of different tubs. All right, and then that's gonna cast your widest net. And yeah, that's how we've been playing in like the gene pool.
Cool. That's definitely cool. I like that.
That's how I found my first album. Was Hash sent me some Louis Vuitton swabs, and I had gotten germination on like 6 different plates, and I ran like 2 or 3 of those plates, because back at that time I was just running like 20 quart mono, so nothing big. And one of the mono tubs, it gave me a mix of albinos, pigmented fruit, and then like I suspect a couple leucistics, but I was more concerned about this little tiny albino that didn't quite have a spike, and I cloned that albino, and it became what I'm now working on, which is the albino Louis Vuitton squat. Got to come up with a better name for it, because it's a fucking mouthful, but that's kind of the thing that I've been working with.
It's crazy to me. Like, there's been a few people that have gotten albinos off of swabs that I'd sent them, which is crazy to me, because I usually don't.
Yeah.
I think you live under power lines or something, like Dave.
Yeah.
Believe though.
Hold on, let me try to see if I can find that original tub where I found a bunch of different phenos, because it was a really interesting tub.
Am I the only one having a hard time hearing Cosmo?
Yeah, he's cutting in and out.
Yeah, reset your shit, homie.
Fuck. I'll be right back.
But Hash, those snails, like I was gonna save it for next week, because these dudes, they're trying to talk me into interviewing me, and I was gonna give them like some mad clues about like how the fucking, you know, how the mush cult started. And that AMVP you were saying, is that the one I sent you?
That is. Yeah, you sent
It
it to me
is.
last year.
Well,
Yeah.
that's how we became friends at the shroomery, because you were like, does anybody have AMVP? And I was like, I have one pair of swabs, but I'll send them to you if you send me one back when you win, right? Like that's
Yep. I remember. That's how we met.
that's pretty rad. We're saving that for next week though, because you're this shit and I love you.
Boys.
Because I bet those are mean as hell.
I feel like they are. I actually got them sent. I sent them in somewhere for testing, so hopefully I can get a some numbers on them and see where they stand. But I've heard that they're pretty mean.
Am I coming in better?
Much better. Hey, and Blue, shut up. Where'd you come from?
I had to do all my work first.
All right,
I
well,
had a lot
cool,
of
because we
messages
still
coming in.
had some questions off the email, and I have like 3 more that I have to do before I can like just walk away and let you guys talk shit for a little while.
I had to be responsible and wash all these mushrooms.
Be responsible. Wash your mushrooms.
Hey, so I got a really mean one on YouTube. Someone was kind of mad because we were shitting on drippy corn. And they said that like we talk shit on like the shroomery for being toxic and Reddit for being toxic, but we were calling drippy corn trash. And I didn't want to be an asshole, but like I don't know, sometimes the truth sucks and you're following noob techs. Like, don't get caught up in the hype.
Keep it simple.
Has anyone ran drippy
just like
corn
everybody-
with success?
What?
I know we all tried. Everybody did, right?
You mean where there's just water droplets
I
inside
didn't.
of the
Fuck that.
inside of the jar still?
Well,
No,
they pressure
people
cooked
were
corn with
taking
extra corn syrup.
popcorn,
They're trying to like candy the
No.
corn.
which
Supposedly
sounds like-
made it
yeah,
run
and
faster.
the thing with corn is that it already has a high sugar content, so it's just like you're just adding sugar to sugar. It
Yeah, it's
just
getting
logistically
redundant.
doesn't make a lot of sense.
It sounds like an
Yeah.
easy way to get contamination because the higher the sugar is, we all know
Yeah.
eventually turns to alcohol, and then also yeast.
Yeah.
Probably is the invitation for the yeast monster.
Yeah, so when I first started getting into cultivating, I ran drippy corn, but I didn't know because this is like what I had found on YouTube, and I used agave, mixed with the corn and boiled it, and I remember
I'm partial to
it
agave
didn't-
too. I use it in my egger and my fucking liquid culture.
I was actually successful with my first, and it was spores from Sporeworks. I think it was like a Z cubensis, a Z, and that grew successful.
Z strain.
And I grew blue Z strain with drippy corn, and I grew blue meanies with drippy corn, and that's when I first started. But I was like, I caught contamination with other strains, and maybe it was just the corn, or I didn't prep it right, or I was using too much agave. But I remember I did try it only one time, and that's when I was in this
Yeah, but like,
YouTube.
contamination or not, like if you're talking about grains and like trying to add to, if you're trying to add to your grains, I think you should research what you can like source locally and the nutrition profile of your grains, because there are if you look at some of these guys that are doing things professionally, they're not just using one grain. If there's mixtures and brown rice, like call them noobs dummies all you want, but brown rice is solid. So is popcorn.
I've heard good things
Yeah,
about
just
brown
get
rice.
better. Just get better grain. Don't there's no sense of adding other stuff.
No, but
I do like
this
doing
wasn't
grain.
my.
You should
Yeah,
just
there's absolutely no sense in adding other stuff,
Yeah, this
especially
wasn't my beginning.
sugars. Because then, I mean, if you think realistically, I'm not a scientist, dude. I'm a hobbyist. But if you're gonna candy coat the grains in your bag, aren't they only gonna like colonize the outside? Like it's gonna look like it's fully colonized, but is it really? You know what I mean?
Does it have to be
Here's-
corn that you use it with? Can you do that, like adding sugars to a different grain? Have they done that? I haven't looked into it.
It sounds like the
I
same thing
don't-
with people
I
doing
don't
coffee
know.
grounds with their popcorn
Yeah.
Right.
stuff, you know.
And this is
I mean, well,
quote straight from Tasty.
you ever run your
Um,
grains just a little bit starchy and then they run a little faster and you
I
get
will
lucky,
say,
like, you know,
Yeah.
like
if you want to speed up your grains, I have noticed whenever I've mixed millet into any grain jar, so if I do popcorn with like millet in there, it will just colonize way quicker.
The inoculation.
I just run straight millet. I just
Oh,
run
I
straight
love
Smaller
millet.
grain to a bigger grain helps. Because I've done the same thing with oats to popcorn, and it works pretty good. So it's like the small ones mix into the big ones really well.
So
I thought popcorn
here's the
was just
thing.
faster
I
because
want
it's
to,
bigger.
like,
I was really digging. I only run jars, and I was really digging using no prep millet to use as my mother jars to do my oat jars, and then I made a dozen no prep millet jars, and I let them sit on a shelf for a month and a half, and I lost like all but 3. And I'm not a dummy. I know what I'm doing. I use the good lids. I use the the cool stickers on the top. But yeah, no prep millet, just all failed. But I can make oats all day, and I have a case that I haven't gotten around to for a month, just still chilling. It's just millet.
and that's hilarious because I can't pour oats worth of shit. But as soon as I switched to millet, I had 0 content. So I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't. Maybe it's the supplier. Maybe it's how the grain is prepped. You know, at the mill. I don't fucking know.
Maybe the
Maybe I'm
region
just
we're
stupid.
in.
Who the fuck knows? Maybe. Because as soon as
I've
I
had a good experience
started
with millet. Millet's
flash
great.
prepping the millet, yeah, as soon as I started flash prepping, I had no issues. Hey, Blue,
Is my mic like hitting something?
it's picking up a TV or something.
Oh, let me get that.
Oh shit, it's picking up me.
That makes sense. Yeah, King of the Hill is on
But-
the TV.
So public service announcement for everybody who wants to reinvent the wheel when it comes to grains or stuff. I'm not saying you can't experiment. I'm just saying that the work has been done for you. Look at the shroomery. People have been fucking around with all.
Yeah, dude, Google that shit.
years, all right.
Yeah.
But the thing that comes out king every time is good genetics and clean grain. That's all you need. If you get your grain right and your genetics have been worked, they're going to tolerate all the bullshit in the world. They really will. And none of those substrate additives or, you know, whatever you want to add to your grain spawn is never going to be as good as having really well worked genetics and dialed in grain.
That was always my favorite response to those dudes trying to sell fucking substrate additives. Was like, how many more mushrooms
Mike.
can I fit in here? Like, can you fit any more mushrooms in here, Dr. Mike? How many more can you fit in here? Look at it. There ain't no more room. Like, come on.
Literally,
Like,
they're
sell me
literally selling you.
it.
They're literally selling you fucking yogurt probiotics. Like, here, just put it.
Does it
like,
actually help
at that
though?
point,
Like, I would like.
I've heard good things.
No,
but
you've
here's
heard
my
good
argument.
things from people he's paid to tell people good things. Like,
No. I've heard good things from other people, but here's what I'm gonna say. Dr. Mike doesn't have shit on clean grain and good genetics. If you have those two
Dr.
things,
Mike
you
is
don't
Willie
need Dr.
Myco.
Mike.
Did you know that?
You're
No way,
kidding
really?
me.
Dr. Mike is Willie Myco.
I didn't
You're
fucking know that.
fucking.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is that for real?
Fuck, I wasn't supposed to say.
Are you for real?
Yeah, Dr. Mike is Willie Myco. Come on, Dr. Myco.
Yo, the Myco Mafia is.
That's
gonna
why
come kill you.
fucking Philly Golden Teacher's tugging his dick and fucking Geeky and fucking. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not.
Oh
Whoa.
no.
Whoa. Excuse me.
Here's a disclaimer. None of the words that Cadaverous just used reflect the general opinion.
Never.
All right, back to our paid program.
Hey, we did have one more dope ass question from the fucking email. Remember this?
Do it.
You got it too, dude.
Oh yeah, that is true.
It was something about fucking wieners.
Thing you sent. What? Excuse me.
What's your excuse?
Probably look at the Google Doc. I was just coughing. What's my excuse?
Well, Zach was supposed to show up,
with it.
and he did not. But he's supposed to be here next week. We got this friend, and we've been wanting to talk to him because it's really crazy because a lot of us don't understand what it's like to be in another continent trying to, grow a little bit of magic. Our homie lives in fucking Pakistan, and he's awesome. He's he's family, and he's pretty fucking awesome. And next week we're gonna be talking to him, and we will have him on there and talking about growing mushrooms in a very not friendly place. And,
well, also don't forget the fact that we're also going to be interviewing the gene pool's very own Cadaverous. We finally twisted his arm hard enough for him to say,
Yes.
"Fine, I'll let you ask me a couple
10
of fucking
cheeseburgers.
questions."
I'll answer a few questions.
Would you
Yeah,
mind?
with French fries.
It ain't about me
For
though,
one
man.
fry.
Would you mind
have-
pulling Hoseby in above in the guest Q&A?
Excuse me?
Hold on.
So it's almost 10 o'clock. Does anybody have any like cool questions and shit? I ain't even looking at Twitch or the comments. I'm sorry.
Oh, how does everyone feel about the? I know not everyone's like it. I know not everyone's friends with Edward, but he posted this test results from like 4 or 5 different labs of the same mushroom, and all of them coming out with like different specs and stuff. How does everyone feel about that with like the labs
haven't
not
seen it.
being consistent?
I have not seen that. And did he name the labs?
That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't
Yeah,
really surprise
it's
me
like
because
it's like 4 or
I've worked
5
in a lab
different labs.
before.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so as
I think
someone
he
who's
does
worked
mean
in
the
a lab
labs. I'd have to
before,
pull it up.
the
Yeah, let me bring
specifications and the specifications that each lab works in and like what their standards are going to vary huge. They're just huge variables. So
Well,
like we think we know what we're getting when we test our stuff with a certain lab, but in reality, it all depends on like what variables are and what tolerances they're allowing within the test, right? So
well,
yeah, it
well.
doesn't surprise me that we're getting such a wide
It
variance in
it
results.
is
How
also
big are the
a
differences?
business too. I'll
Say again.
I'll find it and post it in one of the chats when I do, because I'm using my phone. But darn, I forgot what I was gonna say about the different
Was it like a
test
full
results. Oh yeah,
percentage?
Are you saying the
uh,
margin of error is that large between all
it
of
was
them?
pretty large.
Like between
It was
all of
pretty
them?
large. That's what I was gonna say. The problem is that, at the end of the day, this is like a business, and so
At the end of
just
the
like,
day, it's a business.
yep, and they want you to be happy, and so when you send your stuff in, they want you to have a smile on your face, and if you send your stuff in and it tests back at a certain percentage, you're gonna be a little sad. And like, just like they have like weed businesses in California and stuff, and everybody they have like an industry standard for testing, so everyone gets the same result across the board, kind of.
What?
Are you
But with
saying that people are trying to make a buck off other people in this community?
no, never.
I've never heard of that before in my lifetime. Like, you have you ever seen those at-home psilocybin tests or whatever?
Yeah, I've actually been on the fence about ordering that from Miracle X.
Yeah, yeah. And like my thing is that how come everybody who buys that shit, their stuff is testing higher than 2%? Tell me why.
Well, they always show us a spectrum as well. If you like go to their Instagram pictures, they always show like the
Yeah.
broad spectrum. So like, I don't know, maybe everyone's stuff is testing at a certain thing, but you could also skew the numbers too by adding double what's recommended.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm
if
saying. It's
if
just
it's
like
not a
every
perfect
test that I've
amount,
seen, every at-home test that I've seen, I haven't seen anyone test under like 2% on those at-home tests. So
well,
either everybody all of a sudden has super strong mushrooms, or maybe they're not testing their shit correctly or fudging the shit. That's just a theory though. If
like I liked how
I
Jordan
disappear,
Jacobs did
just
it.
know the Myco Mafia came after me.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I like how Jordan did it for the cup, because he had like X amount and he tested all of it. It's not just like, I also wonder too, like, what are people sending into like these other places?
Yeah.
Are they sending in
Test
just
the entire
whackables?
sample.
Yeah, are they testing an entire sample or not? Because that's what I liked about Jordan. Jordan, he tested the whole thing, like blended it all up, and this is it. Like, are these other labs just testing the cap? Are they just testing stem?
And that he's cool enough to test a sample for $100, dude. Like, it's cool to get a printout for $100, especially if it's a project,
Let's clarify something now. You did it for $100 a pop for us at the Gene Pool. I don't think those are his rates, but you can correct me if I'm wrong.
May I interject?
Of course.
I don't know who's if anybody can pull in. There's a guy in question Q&A. He's my buddy. He's trying to get into the Hangout one, but he can't see it. I think think you said something like a discretion amongst like sharing a little bit about yourself or whatnot, and until you can see it.
Yeah. I'll change it. I got him. Hold on.
Yeah, you just gotta drag him in. You should be able to see him. He's solo in the
Nah,
question
nah.
Q&A.
I gotta change his role in the Discord server. So for people that are thinking about joining this Discord, you gotta introduce yourself. A mod
Yep.
will eventually see it, but you don't get to see the whole Discord until you
Right.
said a little bit about yourself.
You don't get to
We
see
take
shit.
privacy very, very seriously here. So,
Absolutely.
your friend should be able to see the Hangout VC now and tell him he can
Sweet.
hang out.
I posted the results in the chat, so you guys can all check it out for yourself.
Pheno.
Lab one
Oh,
lab one is pretty iffy.
Yeah, what the hell? Oh, yeah.
You know, look at that.
This is
So
not
this
cool.
is a thing. Did he like, you know, devolve who's who?
I believe so. On the Instagram, you can
Oh,
check it out.
starting shit. That's dope. Okay, I kind of admire that a little bit.
Yeah,
Except though,
doing the Lord's
identical
work right there.
portions of 13 different samples. You guys know as well as I do. Fucking pick that whole tub. Ain't no handful in that whole tub gonna be the same as the other, right?
That's fair.
That's true.
Like, grab 4 shrooms out of
But
that
you
tub. It ain't gonna be the same as those 4 shrooms. Ain't gonna be
a
the
little
same as
bit.
those 4 shrooms. It's gonna be a little bit, but come on, there's a few in that tub that put your fucking dick in the dirt. And like, if you were lucky and picked those, I don't know, dude.
It's also
Like,
interesting
I think if you could powder
to
a fucking
see
whole
that there
tub,
are a couple
like,
of varieties on this graph. It's pretty interesting to see that a couple of these varieties on this graph, there's not a huge variance. Like you're like looking at like the SV13 just
man,
across the
you're
board,
breaking up so
they're
bad, Cosmo.
pretty close. God damn it. Fucking country Wi-Fi.
You fucking country Wi-Fi and
Adios,
blah,
turd
blah.
nuggets.
Yeah, this is definitely a discussion for another day, and we should do that. But
Hello.
Yeah, I would definitely be suspect of laboratory number 1.
who's laboratory
Lab
number
one's
one?
fudgy numbers apparently. Do you know he's not gonna give that shit up? The Myco Mafia will kill him. More like the Myco Illuminati.
They have those mycelium coffins now. Watch out.
Say,
Oh god.
mushroom.
No.
Okay,
I want to make
here's the
a
Instagram
joke,
link.
but I also don't want to talk shit about other people, so I'm not going to. It's really funny to see that the Yeti Malmac cross from lab 1 got less than a percent. Like, damn.
Dude, I have this awesome
Hell yeah.
Yeti revert I got from John Mears in the Tat Syndicate. And it's just about ready to go to fucking substrate. I'm so excited.
The stuff I sent in for the cup was like a year-old sample. That sample is like a year old, and it tested at almost a percent.
Kitty game. I want to play the kitty game.
We're gonna go play the kitty game. You gonna go play the kitty game? You gonna go play the kitty game?
Mm-hmm.